What's up, everybody? It's been a while. I know I haven't been posting a lot. It's been a few months. I've been busy. I got back into college, which is good. But I'm gonna try and get back on it. I'm trying a new style of video where I just record my voice, and I can have like whatever gameplay in the background instead of just my face wearing a mask. Which kind of made it hard to talk. So, when was it? June 13th last year, 2025, June 13th, I was looking online, I remember, and that was during Men's Mental Health Day. June in general was supposed to be Men's Mental Health Month, but that specific day was, I guess, like the big day for it. And I saw a lot of posts about women, certain kinds of women who were making fun of Men's Mental Health Day, and it's kind of stuck in the back of my mind for a long while. Not because I feel ill will towards them, but it's more just the sentiment of, how did we get here?
Care. I don't care.
Okay.
I really don't give a.
Is it okay for men to cry in front of women?
Probably not.
Why?
Because men are kind of weak.
I mean, like, seriously, we have this sentiment of, like, us versus them in terms of gender. And not only was it never meant to be that way, it's not sustainable. And this has become increasingly more apparent in the last, I want to say, 10 to 15 years, of just, like, women talking down on men and men talking down on women. I don't want to be hypocritical in this aspect because both sides are really bad, but I'm just making the Men's Mental Health Day example because that's what really got me thinking about that. The social pitfalls of Gen Z are very apparent. The issues that it undergoes is like so many. It's a charcuterie board of different problems. As far as like isolation, financial. We have no community. We're not like getting together. We're not mingling. We can't afford homes. We can't find jobs, even though we're one of the most educated generations in history. We're overqualified, and yet we're underperforming because everything is so barren. And the least that we could do, the bare minimum that we could do as far as giving ourselves some sort of, I guess, safety, some sort of community, comfort, is mingle with each other, is get together with each other. We're all suffering, we're all dealing with the same bullshit, but we're eating ourselves. We're eating ourselves. I mean, like, you have figures like Andrew Tate, like the Tate brothers in general. I think Tristan is a bit more down to earth, but you have people like Andrew Tate, out here talking this big game and whatnot. And then you have like other people like feminists and whatever, turbo feminists, who are just like hate the way that men breathe. And a lot of these like are millennials actually. So it's like this previous generation, and we're consuming all of this content. We're listening to them, and then we're regurgitating what they say, and we can't afford to do that. We can't. Like, it's not. What is the end goal? honestly, what's the goal of it? Because a house divided itself cannot stand. So, birth rates are declining. People are getting lonelier. People have less money. And, while we can sit and point fingers, oh, it's the boomers, it's the government, it's BlackRock, part of it's us as well. At the very least, the social aspect of it. We're so, not only are we so antisocial, we can hardly make small talk with each other, we're very tribal. Gen Z is an extremely tribal generation, and it's so weird. Because, on one hand, you have people who are, like I said, who are suffering, who are dealing with all sorts of bullshit, and then we're not banding together. It's like if you had people living in a poor country, and this happens all across the world. This happens today as we speak. As you're watching this video, this is happening. But it's like you have people living in a poor country, really impoverished, and instead of, banding together, they're at each other's throats. Like a gang warfare, like a civil war with no end. The only thing that's gonna be left is people who are bitter. You're gonna have bitter people blaming the other side. I believe that a lot of problems that Gen Z faces is not due to its own, I guess, creation, where we were kind of dealt this hand. But socially, I think this is Gen Z's fault. For carrying the torch, at least. I said, the millennials kind of started the gender war, but we're carrying the torch. I think one of the biggest reasons why Gen Z is so hateful towards each other in terms of gender is because of relationships, because of the idealization of what each side, each gender thinks a relationship should be. Me as a man, I'm not gonna shy away from my own biases. I would honestly like a woman who is a bit more traditional, shares my culture. I'm a Greek who's born and raised in Canada, but I would preferably like someone of Greek culture. And, I would like to be the one to provide, and, that'd be that. And, you can play around with what levels of, providing, homemaking each person does. I mean, I don't have a problem once in a while cooking. I love to cook. But it's but the issue is not. But the issue of idealization makes us inflexible. You have men on one side saying, no, you're supposed to stay home. You're supposed to dress modestly, save for a hijab. You're supposed to not talk back at all. You're supposed to just kind of be a vessel for my own comfort. And to be fair, this is extremes. But, on the most extreme end, it's just a woman is supposed to be a vessel for a man's comfort and whatever. And I think when it gets to that level of extreme, you kind of forget that the woman is her own person. And it is more or less the same on the other side. Because on the other extreme, you would have, I guess, women saying, a man has to pay for everything no matter what. The whole 6 figures, 6 inches, 6-pack, whatever, that whole thing, 6 foot. you know, if a woman cheats, it's the man's fault.
What separates me as a misandrist from feminists is that my hot take is that you cannot cheat on men. It's not possible. Like, that doesn't exist. Cheating on men does not exist. Men cheat women out of joy and opportunity every single day of their lives, like it's their job. They are conditioned from birth, and they have been conditioned for generations, like centuries and centuries, millennia. So there's no such thing as cheating on men. Say you're in a hetero relationship with a male, you can do whatever you want. It's not called cheating. It's not called cheating.
If the woman's a single mother, the man needs to step up. It's, you know, it's absurd. And like I said with the example of the man's extreme expectations, you know, the woman also forgets that the man is human. Like, he forgets that the man has humanity. And, you know, if you, in all fairness, if you walk down the street and you ask random people, you're not gonna get those answers, but I think you will get answers that are a bit more expecting rather than accommodating. If you ask any person, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, but if you ask any Gen Zer, I guess, what they want in a relationship, they'll always talk about what they want their partner to do, not what they would do for their partner. I feel like this is kind of like twisting the narrative a bit when I say it, but when you look at it, it is kind of selfish. Like, sure, what you want, I want to live a happy life with a loving partner who does their roles and whatever, but it's all like, well, what are you gonna do for your partner? It's like the case of like what do you bring to the table? And, you know, I think women are more vocal about what they want, and they don't really talk much about what they would do for a man. But don't get it twisted, I think men do that as well. I really think they do. You know, you have to, like, if you're gonna play the game of like the roles and whatever, you kind of have to understand your part. I think men, in all fairness, do kind of lean a little more traditional, and there is that underlying sense of like, I should provide. But, you know, if it is there, I'm not saying it isn't, but if it is there, they don't say it much. They don't really emphasize that point. It's both genders. It's what my partner should do for me, not what I should do for my partner. And like, that sentiment, my friends, that breeds selfishness. That breeds selfishness. I mean, you know, I can sit and I could say like, I would love to someday, like, if I have a wife and kids, tell my wife, you know, chill out for a day. If I have a day off, chill out for a day. I'll cook a nice family dinner. I grew up in restaurants, so I know how that shit goes down. I'll cook and whatever. Or alternatively, like, you know, if I had the same thing, loving wife, family, whatever, like, she does something for me. I don't know, like, it's reciprocity. Reciprocate it. It's not hard. Instead of looking for what you want in a partner, you should have standards. I'm not saying don't have standards, but instead of looking for what you want in a partner, you should be also thinking about, you know, what kind of partner you want to be. And you can do that now. You will have to have standards. Obviously, don't just fall for whatever, like, piece of shit walks past you. Like, if you know someone is garbage, then don't bother with them. But if you find someone that you know that you're compatible with, then you should stop and think, like, what would make me a good partner? It's, it's introspection. I believe I talked about this in my videos before, but looking at yourself, looking in the mirror is like such a powerful thing that you can do. But no one does that, and going back to the original point, love is such a strong emotion, and when people are looking for love and they can't find it because everyone that they test in like these Tinder dates, Bumble date, whatever, they have their own expectations, and you have your own expectations, so it's like you become bitter. I don't know where, like, realistically, I don't know where all of these expectations came from. Like, you could sit and you could point and say, like, oh, the feminist movements and whatever, first, second, third wave feminism. Yeah, once third wave feminism, or just once feminism caught the stream of social media, it just kind of snowballed in on itself and became what it is today, which is absurd. And the same can be said for, I guess, the overindulgence of like the manosphere. I think there are parts of the manosphere that are still very important. I don't this is going to be controversial, but I don't completely like do away with everything that someone like Andrew Tate would say. I think there's like gems of knowledge in there, but you still get what I'm saying in terms of it just being like too much. And social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, they all amplified that sentiment into what we have today. Hate breeds hate, I guess you could really say. It's making things hard. It's making things really hard. It's getting to the point where, going back to the original point, of all of Gen Z's problems, the ones that we can't really solve today, tomorrow, sure, but not today, as far as like the economy, job opportunities, whatever, the ones that we can solve today as far as community, socialization, relationships, we don't, because we, number one, have all of these expectations, and number two, we're afraid of each other. We're afraid because, well, we have these expectations, we know that the other side also has these expectations. So you're gonna say, I'm gonna go on this date and I'm gonna have these expectations of what I want in a potential partner. But there's an issue now because this person that I'm going on a date also has these expectations of what they want in a partner. So why do you get to expect things from me when I'm already expecting things from you? It's hypocrisy. That's called hypocrisy. We're a generation of hypocrites who can't date each other because of our own hypocrisy towards each other, towards each other's expectations. Me being, I'm gonna wrap this up now because I've just passed like 20 minutes of recording. It's probably not gonna be that long, but anyways. Wrapping this up, me being a Greek, I go to a Greek Orthodox Christian church, and the priest there was, he was a younger guy. He was like in his late 30s, if I remember. He left now. I think he's like back in the monasteries in Greece. But he was great. He was easily my favorite priest at my church, and we had him over for dinner one time. We had him, like my family had him over for dinner. And he was telling us this story, right, where there was a dance at the Greek Hall. I guess at the time it was a few months ago. I didn't end up going because I think I was busy that night. But there was a dance at the Greek Hall, mainly for students from the university and just like local Greek kids. All of, like Gen Z, the majority of them, if not all of them. And you know, there were, like, the priest was walking around, like, making sure that everyone's enjoying the party, everyone's enjoying the dance, and he's talking to all of the different kids there and whatever, and he goes to, like, this group of girls who are eyeing down this group of guys. The group of guys were standing at the bar that they had set up, and, the group of girls were just, like, off more towards the table. And, you know, the priest goes to the girls and says, yeah, you know, like, girls, how are you doing tonight? They're all like, good. He goes, like, are you guys enjoying the party? They're like, yeah. They go, but we're trying to get those guys to come over here and talk to us. And, like, the priest was all, like, looking over at the guys, and, like, those guys, yeah. He goes, okay, well, they're not coming over. No, they're not. He goes, well, here's a good idea. Why not you guys get up and go talk to them instead? And they're all like, you want us to go and talk to them? Like, that's not what's supposed to happen. Yeah, but just give it a shot. You wanna socialize with them, sometimes you have to go do it yourself. And like, okay. So, you know, priest steps away and whatever. Just watches the scene unfold, right? The girls get up, they walk over to the guys who are standing by the bar. And I think they're, like, from what he told me, they were there for about 30 seconds before the guys walked away. Because they were scared, I guess. It's, that's the outcome. The entire topic of this video, the divide between men and women, the division of the sexes, that's like a real world. I promise you, that is a real story. That is the outcome of what we have here today, what Gen Z has. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's everything that I said is just like off the top of the dome. I have a video idea and I just kind of run with it. I just talk about it. Nothing is scripted. None of my videos are scripted. But yeah, Nuke is back. Hopefully, I'm gonna try and do what I can as far as between school and the channel. But I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you next time.